What if your car could literally grow itself, walk over a traffic jam, or physically stretch into a different vehicle at the press of a button? Because here's the thing, some of these ideas already exist, and the real ones are somehow wilder than the fake ones. So this video is exactly what it sounds like. We're taking modern cars and making them 10,000 times better. Some of these upgrades are completely ridiculous. Some of them are real concepts that actual engineers built. And one of them, I'll save it for the end, is so absurd that the only reason it got abandoned was because of nuclear fallout. Yeah, stay with me. Let's start with one that sounds made up, but absolutely is not. Picture this. Instead of walking into a dealership, you walk into a garden. You pick up a seed, you plant it, and 6 weeks later, your car grows out of the ground. The Mercedes Biomi concept car was designed to be grown from proprietary DNA and fibers called biofiber in a laboratory. The first car grown instead of assembled. And the material itself? Mercedes designed it out of a steel alternative called biofiber, which is lighter than metal and plastic, yet stronger than steel. So your car is lighter than a plastic bottle and tougher than a steel beam. The interior grows from the DNA in the Mercedes star on the front of the vehicle, while the exterior grows from the star on the rear. The wheels? Grown from 4 separate seeds. And if you scratch it in a parking lot, you don't take it to a body shop, you just wait. The cells grow back over the damage like a scab. At the end of its life, the car can fully compost and be reused as building material. So your car's born, heals itself, and when it dies, it becomes a wall. That's not a car, that's basically a pet. Now here's the part I want you to hold on to because we're going to come back to it at the very end. There's one upgrade on this list that engineers actually tried to build in the 1950s, and it got killed for a reason that should disqualify it from ever existing. Keep that in the back of your head. Okay, so a car that grows is cool. But what if your car could also change its shape while you're driving it? The Audi Skysphere concept hides one neat trick underneath its bodywork. It can change its wheelbase on the fly, transforming from a long, imposing Grand Tourer to a nimble roadster at the touch of a button. Actuators behind the front axle move the entire front clip of the car rearward, shortening the wheelbase by nearly 10 inches in its transition between the so-called GT and Sport modes. So the car literally gets shorter or longer depending on your mood. Feeling sporty? It shrinks. Want to cruise on the highway? It stretches out and the steering wheel folds away into the dashboard. You can choose to be chauffeured around in the autonomous Grand Touring driving mode while enjoying the sky and the scenery, maximum legroom, and the services offered by a seamlessly integrated digital ecosystem. 2 cars in one body, 1 button. That's not a car upgrade, that's a car cheat code. And speaking of cheat codes, we're not done yet. Because what if the car didn't just change shape? What if it could walk? The Hyundai Elevate is the first ultimate mobility vehicle, blending technology found in electric cars and robots, which allows it to traverse terrain beyond the limitations of even the most capable off-road vehicle. It has 4 robotic legs with wheels at the end of each one. On smooth roads, it folds the legs up and just drives like a normal car. But when things get weird, it can climb a 5-foot wall, step over a 5-foot gap, walk over diverse terrain, and achieve a 15-foot wide track width, all while keeping its body and passengers completely level. So your car can step over a traffic jam. Literally, just walk over it. Complex multi-joint legs, inspired by those of a grasshopper, give this walking car the ability to climb steps, lift itself above flowing water, or even jump over gaps. And it has 2 walking modes, reptilian, where the legs are positioned outwards either side of the body, and mammalian, where the legs point out in front and behind the body. Reptilian mode. Your car can walk like a lizard. I don't know what else to tell you. The engineers at Hyundai just decided regular wheels were too boring and built a car that moves like a dinosaur. Now let's talk about some of the other upgrades that didn't quite make it into production, for reasons that range from reasonable to absolutely unhinged. First, the in-car record player. In 1956, Chrysler put a record player inside the dashboard of a car. Not a tape deck, a record player. They even made special ultra-thick vinyl discs that spun at a slower speed to handle the vibrations from the road, giving drivers 45 minutes of music per side. The problem? One pothole and the needles scratched the record so hard it basically destroyed the song. So, it died. Because roads exist. Then there's the in-car toilet. In 1954, a custom Rolls-Royce Silver Wraith was commissioned with a toilet hidden under the rear passenger cushion. Gold-plated seat. Very fancy. The catch? There was no plumbing, no holding tank. It was just a direct hole to the road beneath the car. Whatever went in came straight out onto the pavement. While moving, this is a real thing that a real person paid real money for. And there was the Honda City, which in 1981 came with a tiny folding scooter in the trunk, the Motocompo, specifically designed so you could park your car on the edge of a congested city, pop the trunk, unfold a matching color-coded scooter, and ride it the rest of the way. Before electric scooters, before anyone thought this was cool, Honda just did it in 1981 and then kind of moved on. There was also the EDAG-like cocoon concept, which ditched metal panels entirely and stretched a thin, weather-resistant fabric over a 3D-printed lattice skeleton. Backlit by LEDs inside the frame, the car literally glows from the inside out, and you can change the color or pattern using software. Not a paint job, software. You could theoretically change your car's look from your phone. And then there's the DSX E-Tense concept, which just threw symmetry out the window. One side of the car, open-air cockpit, exposed driver, wind in your face. The other side, fully enclosed glass pod, sound insulation, luxury passenger experience. Two completely different driving experiences fused into one lopsided chassis. Because why should both people in the car have the same experience? If you're enjoying this, by the way, there's a whole video on this channel about the craziest concept cars that automakers are actually trying to build right now. The ones that rethink the entire shape of how a car moves. You should watch it next, it's right up your alley. And if you want more videos like this one, subscribe. It genuinely helps. And I make this kind of thing regularly. Also, drop a comment. Which of these upgrades would you actually want in your real car? The growing car, the walking car, the shape-shifting wheelbase, or the toilet? Be honest. Okay, we've been building to this one the whole time. The upgrade's so ambitious, so genuinely exciting, and so catastrophically dangerous that it never had a chance. In 1958, Ford unveiled a concept called the Nucleon. The idea was simple. Swap out the gas engine for a small nuclear reactor in the rear of the car. Powered by uranium fission, running on steam turbines, promising a driving range of 5,000 miles before you'd need to swap out the radioactive core. 5,000 miles. You'd never stop for gas again. You'd just pull into a nuclear fuel station, hand someone your uranium capsule, and drive away. The reason it never happened? Minor fender benders would have caused localized nuclear fallout. If someone rear-ended you at a stoplight, the surrounding neighborhood would have needed to be evacuated. Ford looked at that problem, thought about it carefully, and said, yeah, we're good. So that's where we landed. A car that grows from a seed. A car that walks over traffic on robotic grasshopper legs. A car that physically stretches into a different vehicle on command. And a car that almost made every parking lot a potential nuclear event. The engineers who came up with these things were not thinking about what was practical. They were thinking about what was possible. And honestly, that's why cars keep getting better. The Hyundai that walks, the Audi that morphs, the Mercedes that grows, none of those are science fiction anymore. They're concepts with working mechanisms and real engineering behind them. The gap between ridiculous upgrade and standard feature is usually just about 20 years and someone's stubborn enough to keep building. Watch the concept car video next. It picks up right where this one leaves off.